Hello again, and welcome back to On a Storyteller's Night. I'm Nathan, and I'm joined, as always, by my friend Josh.
Hi, I'm Josh.
So, let's get started. So, before we do what the podcast is about this week, I just thought we'd do a little bit of a catch-up, because we've not really spoken much over the past week, because for you, it's been half-term last week. For me, it's half-term this week. So, we've been in different places doing different stuff. So, what have you been up to for the past week?
I've been in North Anglesey, North Wales, with my girlfriend, my little brother, my sister, for my sister's birthday.
Oh, nice.
My sister, my dad, and my dad's invitations, they all went to Dublin for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
But for me and my girlfriend and one of my mates decided to stay and play Risk. Well, teach my girlfriend how to play Risk.
Yeah.
Play some Cards Against Humanity. And just chill out. That's what we've been doing, just having a great time. Cool. And now that I've had a long travel back, and me being back home, I can start preparing my uni stuff and finish off my college.
Cool. Not long left, is it really?
How about you?
It's quite good. Well, obviously, I've been in work all week, which has been not too bad. It's been fairly busy. Lots going on in the school, as always, and there's lots of stuff we're trying to do. So we've had a follow-up estimate report, which was much better than it's previously been, but there's still a lot of work we've got to do. So we're introducing a lot of new systems and stuff like that, which, of course, means that it's me doing a lot of that stuff, which is, kind of cool, and still trying to do all the social media stuff for the school and setting up all sorts of bits and pieces and doing an IT audit, because we want to make sure we've got enough equipment. And a lot of our stuff is really old. Like, the PCs are old. They can't install Windows 11, so it means they won't be able to use it on the council system. So we need to upgrade a lot of PCs. So we have to find out who's using older ones, where they're being used, what ones we have to swap out. A lot of our iPads are now out of date. I think there's like 20 iPads at the school out of date. So there's a lot of that doing. And other than that, normal YouTube stuff. But I've been playing a lot of Streamer Life Simulator, something that Jack suggested that's quite big at the life simulator games, which are absolutely ridiculous but good fun and quite short to kind of do episodes. So I've been doing that and been trying to do a lot of more kind of fun thumbnails and that sort of thing. And I've been using a lot of AI as well for the thumbnails, because I've got the full Adobe suite through work. I've been using Adobe Firefly, which is AI. So you give it a prompt. So I've been giving it prompts for like ideas for thumbnails. It comes up with most of it, and I just like tweak it, add my face to it, and add the text. And it's actually been working quite good. So if you have a look at those like thumbnails when you're on my channel next, you'll see what I mean. It's quite good. A lot of them look similar to a lot of the other people like Zerka, Miniminja, and those sort of people do these videos as well. So it's kind of taking inspiration from them. Well, take inspiration from the best, in it,
Yeah,
well, isn't it? So
I did see you publish it. It's like that. You're going to the Streamer Life Simulator, and then I think it was part 1 I looked at, and that looked very, very much like a Miniminter thumbnail.
That's what I've been going for, kind of the more professional and kind of like those kind of thumbnails that people do. Because, if you're going to do it, it's copy off the people that do well, because they do well for a reason. It's not just they're famous and everyone knows them, but because people want to click on those thumbnails and they see them. So that's what I've been going for. So it seems to be going okay, and I'm enjoying it. It's a good fun game, and they're quite short. I've also changed how I'm recording as well again. So I'm now recording the full screen webcam, so I can zoom in and out and do stuff like that, and it's a lot better quality than having it embedded in OBS. So I'm doing that as well. It's a lot more editing, but I think it like speaks for itself. It's a lot better quality. So a couple of episodes in, I'm doing that as well. So that's quite good. But anyway, let's get on with today's topic. So today's topic is it a scam? So as I mentioned last time, we were talking about the Paul brothers, who of course I think now everyone knows is just full of scams. I thought I'd talk about this topic because it's something I have a lot of experience with, and I'll explain that a little bit later. It's not of obviously scamming people, but being on the receiving end of people trying to scam me. So I've got some interesting information about that, which I want to kind of pass on to people, what they can look out for to try and kind of protect themselves from these types of scams and what people are actually doing. So what sort of scams are you aware of? And what are the different types of scams that you know of?
Well, funny coincidence you bring scams up, because me and my girlfriend were a receiving end of a almost successful scam during the week. last week. Yep, in North Anglesey, there is no Ubers, there is no bikes, scooters. It's quite literally taxis, and taxis only are open in North Wales at Anglesey 5 p.m. till 10 p.m.
Yeah.
We were trying to get a taxi for around about 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Right.
And they were all saying, no, you refer you to this company, refer you to this company. And then I found a quote-unquote very reliable 4.5-star taxi company. And I'm like, all right, the natives language of no Welsh was involved. It was all, excuse the mild racism. It was like Indian
racism. Seriously.
it was the typical good morning, can I take your stuff like that. And my girlfriend noticed that something's wrong. And I looked at the website.
Yeah.
As I cancelled my reservation for the taxi, and £195 tried getting withdrawn from my account from that company. The company's now been took down because I phoned the police, and North Wales don't take lightly to that type of stuff.
Yeah, that's dreadful.
But it just goes to show, even because the website was absolutely polished, it was amazing. It drew me in. It was infographic. It was informative. It was very, very well structured. And it just goes to show that sometimes even the best looking websites can be a scam.
Well, the thing is, anyone can build a website. There's so many different programs and different things you can make websites with that anyone can make a professional website. Hell, I make websites, and I don't spend a lot of time on them half the time. It's just you press buttons and add graphs and graphics and stuff. They're fairly easy. That's well, at least you figured out that it was a bit dodgy and did that. So, yeah, that's a bit bad.
Yeah, it was just because we were rushing. It was like an hour and a half, 2-hour walk to the house that we were staying at. We did not want to walk it. We ultimately did. But on our journey back, we just sat down every 15 to 20 minutes and just went through the website and what it was going to, what it looked like. So the easiest thing that we found out is that the HTML bar at the top is slightly different. For example, I'll get YouTube's HTML up. You've got it's youtube.com, right?
Yeah.
The best way to notice fake scam websites is /, but it's like one of the smaller ones, and then the name. Because if it was the / that I noticed at the beginning, because it had / and then HTTPS.
Right.
And because it was a / you didn't notice it. My girlfriend didn't notice it. My dad didn't notice it. But once I looked at it properly, it's like that / before the HTTPS shouldn't be there.
It's a bit different.
Yeah, it's all about looking at the HTMLs and doing a background check on that HTML.
Well, that's something we'll come on to in a minute when we talk about phishing. So we'll go through the different types. What type of scams are you aware of? Do you know the most common scams, what they call the types of ones there are?
You've got phishing, you've got keylogging, you've got whaling. That I've done a whole thing of it on my portfolio, to be fair.
There's obviously cryptocurrency scams, we know as well. So we've already said phishing. There's romance scams, investment scams, identity theft, job scams, door-to-door scams. Ticket scams are obviously quite a big one with concerts and that sort of thing as well. But there's a few PayPal ones and eBay as well. So there's ones that people have actually tried to get me with an eBay one. I was selling a phone a while ago. I think it was it might have been the Samsung Galaxy 7, I think it was. And I advertised it with the VR headset I had with it and all that sort of thing. I advertised it on eBay, and somebody wanted to buy it off me, but off eBay, and not actually do it through eBay, do it separately so there wouldn't be any fees or anything. Dodgy in itself and against eBay's terms and conditions. So yeah, don't do that shit. But the way they want to do it, and I've seen a few people try and do this, is they use PayPal, but what they do is tell you to send a request to them for payment. And then as soon as they've got the confirmation it's sent, they'll then send the payment through. Well, no, what they'll do is use a random person's PayPal. You send a request through, nothing ever comes back. So they expect you to send it through because you've got the request with the money pending, but it never actually is. So and they just have the item, and
that's called ransomware. That one.
Yeah. So a lot of people do that. That's quite a big one on PayPal.
So here we've got internal threats, external threats, employee and sabotage theft, malware, viruses, worms. Trojan horse is one of my favourite ones. It's very fascinating.
That's not really scams in the same way. A lot of that, are they? They're more kind of virus and other ways to get information. A lot of that. Whereas I'm talking more about where they're trying to like trick you into doing something and something like that, rather than like putting malware or a virus. That's a different kind of attack that we can talk about another time. But I want to concentrate more on the kind of where they try and trick you into doing something rather than getting something off you in a different way, if you see what I mean. So like phishing, where they try and get information out of you via email and that sort of thing, where they send you a fake email from, Royal Mail or Yodel or something, saying, "Oh, your parcel has been stopped to customers, you have to pay this money," and it's all fake websites, and it looks exactly like the Royal Mail website, but you have a look and the address is incorrect. You have a look at the email and you look at the actual email address, and it's nonsense. It's not actually a proper email address from the company. They're fairly easy to spot as long as you know what you're looking at, but it's getting harder and harder because a lot of email programs will only display the name of the person, and it's so easy. And the same on your phone. They can set what they want you to see. So what your real name is. So, I'll have Josh and I'll have an email from Josh. And it takes a little bit of digging to actually see where the email comes from. It's getting a little bit harder. So it's the same with mobile phone. You'll get a message that looks like it's coming from a company. It's not. And it can even drop into your history with that company. So it looks like it's from your bank or from a utility company or something else, but it's not. And it's getting harder and harder because the smart technology tries to put things in the same place that look the same, even though they're not. And that's worrying because it's so easy then to read something that seems legit. You look at it and it's, in a thread that you've already got started in a conversation, but it's from somebody else just because it picks it up because they've changed the name to match that. That's a bit worrying.
There's this YouTuber called Scammer Payback.
Yeah.
He goes onto these calls that are
I'm not convinced for those. Well, he breaks into the cameras and you can see. No, I call bullcrap on that. I really do. There's no way they've got security cameras looking at them while he's talking to them and scamming the scammers. I don't believe at all that he's found out where they are, getting into security camera. Any company that has a CCTV camera will not have it linked to the network. That's part of CCTV legislation for most companies. They will do that as part of their policies for CCTV, that it is not connected to a network, that is on a separate system entirely, not connected to the internet, an internal system, so that it can't be hacked. People can't be viewing it from a remote computer, and if you need to view CCTV, you have to physically log into the CCTV computer. So I call absolute crap on that. That is nonsense. None of that's real. Guaranteed. There's no way. There is no way they've got CCTV that he can hack into and look at the people he's talking to. That is nonsense. That's spy show nonsense level. That's dreadful. It's so much bull. Absolutely bull.
I mean, I was going to say pretty much the same thing, because I wanted to specify that some of these YouTube channels that do all like the scamming and getting their payback on them, I know all about the whole, yes, it's the steps that he does, appropriate, 100% accurate, but again, the execution when it comes to like video recordings and CCTV and getting their names, the actual names, that's a bit far-fetched.
Of course it is. It's nonsense.
That's what I was about to say. That's when it becomes nonsense. But if the steps that you can follow what these guys do on their channels, if you follow their steps, they're accurate. 90% of the time they're very accurate, but then you got the like those. Like you're going that extra mile to try and oversell your product type of situation. You're going over the top.
That's the trouble with the internet, though, and YouTube and social
it's
media.
always over the top.
Go over the top with the things they do to try and get. And it's just like, yeah, it's interesting. It'd be good if he just showed you how to protect yourself from it, rather than look what I did and I found these people. And it's like, oh, really? No, you didn't. No, there's no way. It's all nonsense. But
I mean, hell, most of these antiviruses and scamware that you can get for computers, they're not as good as they used to be because there's just too many ways to get around these protective devices or protective apps.
There's always a way. If somebody can write something to protect you, somebody can write something to break it down.
Break it down, exactly.
That's exactly what it is. But it's worrying that so many people don't understand like what a phishing email is. There's so many people in companies that will have an email. It's like, oh, I got to do this to protect my password. They click a button and it, sends viruses and stuff everywhere, collects everyone's passwords. It's such a common thing that's been going on for so long. When I worked for Lloyd's TSB years ago, there was I don't want to call it a virus because it was using Windows macros, which, to be honest, Microsoft macros are one of the worst things in the world because they're great. If you think you can make a macro in Excel or something that'll automate things for you, sounds like a great idea. What I don't understand, why is it possible with a macro to shut down computers, copy files, send emails, and all the other stuff that somebody can abuse? Why is that actually built into the system? I don't get that. You can do mass deletion of an entire server through a macro. A macro is just like recorded keystrokes. Why does Microsoft put it so that's so exploitable? If they didn't code it so it could do that, you wouldn't have half the viruses. Because the one I actually discovered one when I was working for the bank, because there was one going around. It was called Ginny A at the time. It was like this. I'm talking back in the 90s. That was going around. It was a macro virus embedded into Excel. And one of the things it would do, it would copy itself into Excel. So it would get an Excel spreadsheet. It would copy that into a new spreadsheet, but it would use hidden tabs that would contain the macro so you wouldn't be able to see it. And it would copy itself into all the other spreadsheets and copy email addresses and everything else. And I found it because of the hidden sheets, and it had these codes in there. And if you found this one cell, you could see exactly what ones were detected by it. And it was ridiculous that nobody picks up on it because somebody had opened up a dodgy email. And it's like they could have like attacked the entire bank and everyone's money and everything else because somebody was stupid enough to press a link that they couldn't verify. It's just just think about it before you press them, especially in work. Don't press a link. Don't activate a file that will run a program unless you know exactly what it is. It's so easy for people to put stuff on there because they've gone, oh, this is Joe from down the road. It don't matter if you recognize the person. It's somebody they could have been hacked. I actually had it on Facebook recently. One of my friends on Facebook somebody sent me a message on Facebook saying they couldn't get into their Facebook. They needed me to send them a code and stuff because somebody had hacked it and got their phone, and they needed me to send them a code. It's like, no, you want me to send you a code to get into my Facebook? It's like, naff off. What are you on about? I'm not stupid. And it's just like, but somebody could have gone, oh yeah, I'll do that. Oh, what do I have to do? I have to press this button. Oh, I'll send you that code. It would have been a code to get into mine. I've had it with Instagram as well. People trying to get into my Instagram. I don't know why they want to.
I've never had it on Instagram. I've always had it on Facebook.
Yep, I've had it on Instagram as well. Somebody wanted to have access so they could post, do stuff and help me out. It's like, no, you want all access to it so then you can use mine. It's like, no, go away. That's not happening. It's just so ridiculous. The big ones I've been seeing lately are two main ones: the romance scams and the investment scams. And some of these start on Instagram. Some of them are directly on WhatsApp. Yeah. And it's frightening how many times. I never delete anything. I have OCD that. I never delete an email. I never delete a message. So my phone is loaded with so much crap you would not believe. So if I have a look at my inbox on my main Gmail, bear in mind I got about 20 Gmail accounts. It's insane. Let's have a look. It doesn't even tell me how many emails I've got. Let's have a look. Because my inbox is frightening. Absolutely frightening.
I'm sort of the same. I very rarely clean out my Gmails.
My Gmail inbox, unopened, unread messages is currently 82,357.
Ooh.
That's just the unread ones.
Right, I'm going to
imagine
check
how
mine.
many read messages I've got. I don't delete anything because I never know what will be useful in the future. But when I go back to seeing this about the scams, oh yeah, what's your one then?
Just quickly, 15,526 on my personal and my business one, which is for YouTube and college and stuff. I have got 18,283. Yeah. So not as much as you, but still combined a lot.
82,000 just unread.
No way.
Inbox currently, it's just insane. But with, as I was saying, because I do it with work as well, but I in work I organise and have folders for each year, month, and everything else, so I can find stuff if I need to. Because I don't trust anybody, unfortunately. I've been around long enough to know I don't trust if somebody says something, and then later down the line I need to prove it because I've had to do it before. I can go back and go, right, oh well, you said this. Look, I've got like written confirmation in a text or an email. I've had to do that a few times. So WhatsApp, I never delete a message. So over the past 4 years, I've got conversations from 20 different scammers in 4 years. That is kind of worrying how often it happens to me. You think, oh, that doesn't like it. That's quite a lot of people trying to get money or information from me. So I said, there's the two main ones, and it's really odd. The romance scams, the investment scams start very, very similar.
Yeah.
But they're after slightly different things in different ways. They all want money, but they're doing it in different ways. And it's kind of interesting to see like the types of people that do each one and how you can spot them. So a lot of the time, I said, it starts on Instagram. Somebody will send you a message and they become, and they chat to you about stuff. And a lot of the time they go down the romance route, which straight away you go, what they're trying to pick people up on Instagram for? That makes no sense. So they'll try that, and I always play along because I just want to know what the end game is. I want to find out what they're going to do and how they're going to do it, and figure out what the end game is and what they're actually going to say to me to try and get money off me. Because I find it hilarious because I spot them like a mile off. Somebody talks to me in that way, and I'm like, yeah, you're full of shit. There's no way you have any interest in me like that, and I don't care. I'm not interested in that. Don't need that. It's absolute nonsense. But they'll start and they'll send you the odd picture of them. I know, nothing too dodgy, thankfully. But there'll usually be something kind of interesting, and they'll be attractive and all different poses and stuff. But it's obviously not the person that's talking to you. And they don't realise that you could do a Google search on these pictures. They don't realise Google search is a thing on pictures. And you can find these pictures, exactly how many times they've been used, and all these different scams in Reddit and everything else will tell you exactly who these real people are that they've stolen these pictures from and everything else. And they'll want pictures from you, and they want to know all about you, your name, what job you've got, where you live, your family, and try and get to know you and all this nonsense. And it's really weird because the stuff they come up with, and it's amazing. So I said the two different types, the romance one and the investment, they both start with them being kind of friendly, and it's usually an attractive person and all of that nonsense. They try and kind of draw you in like that. It's somebody attractive that's interested in you and all of this, and they're looking for a partner, somebody to share their life with or whatever else. So the romance ones tends to be Americans, British, and kind of English-speaking European. Those are the main romance scams, where they'll try and get friendly with you and say they want to meet up. And it's usually they either live locally. I had one the other day from Birmingham, apparently. I don't believe the person was from Birmingham. I don't believe the person was even female, but there you go. So the person was apparently in Birmingham a couple of hours. So it's like 2-3 hour drive, and wanted to meet up, but they'd come to a hotel to meet up. I know the end game there is saying they need money for the hotel, and I'd have to send them a couple of £100 for the hotel to meet up with them and all that nonsense, which is just like,
by that point, by the time you sent the money, that money might have given them access to your entire bank account.
No, it won't.
If they play their cards right and they get I wouldn't say code, but the very important word that I'm missing. If you send money, they can get your access details.
They could do if they really, really try, but most of the time they're not after that. They're just after a quick little bit of money, because if they get your details, then that's more of a thing you can go to the police about. If you send money to somebody willingly, however they've tricked you into get the money, you're not going to get it back. If somebody gets into your account, you're then covered. So they're not going to do that as often. What they'll do, it'll be I really want to meet you. I want to come over. You know, I'm getting the abuse off my ex or something. I need to leave the country. I want to come visit you. Send me money for the airfare, or somebody died in the family and I need to take a flight. And it'll be something to either come and visit you, something that you want, or something that they need desperately. My car broke down. I'm going to lose my job and I need a couple of $100 to fix my car. It's always something like that. So they'll either gather that you want to meet them and spend time with them, so they'll push the angle of to meet them, you have to send them money so they can come and meet you, or they need something because they're really desperate and you can help them. That's kind of the romance one. I said it's usually like America, Britain. I had one the other day. It started on Instagram, an older woman, like late 50s. And it looks like, you know, a normal person on Instagram, and they start chatting. But they send you pictures like, I'm just cooking dinner. And you see the pictures like, that's not real. And you see it's like somebody in Florida. Now, I've not been to Florida, but I know people there. But the things they were sending pictures of them cooking, you look at the jars, and it's like they were Polish jars. Now, there's going to be Polish people.
Yeah.
There's going to be Polish people in Florida. I don't doubt that. But not this kind of person who is like a psychologist. It's like, you don't have a Polish heritage, I'm pretty sure. You're kind of a bit redneck by the things they were talking about and the way they were talking. It's like, that doesn't make any sense for that. And it's like, oh, and this is my family. And it's like, that's not your family, you know? And you can see these pictures just like, why are you using these generic pictures? It's like, but when they send you a picture of like, this is what I'm cooking, they haven't said what they're cooking. It's like, you're not cooking that in Florida. There is no way in hell. And it's all these little things that you pick up and the things they say about where they are and stuff. And that person started off wrong, like asking where you're from. Oh, do you live on an island? It's like, no, I'm in the UK. And they're like, oh, well, that is only an island. Like, yeah, so is America then, if you're going to take that. It's a country.
If you're going to go down that route, the whole world has an island.
Exactly. Every country is on an island. And that really annoyed me. It's like, it was the whole, I'm American, I know everything. It's like, you don't know shit. What are you on about? You're supposed to be an intelligent person. I spoke to the person a little bit after that when I actually look, I'm fed up with this, so what are you trying to do? Because I'm not giving you any money. And we actually talked, and this person gave me a sob story about how hard life they've had, and they need to do this to make money. They're in college and all of this, and it was all still bullshit. I never actually found out who the person was or their real name or much about them. I think it was a bloke, and I think the bloke might have been in the UK because we were chatting and stuff. I was like, what, you know, just normal kind of back and forth general chats, like they were watching The Boys at the time, and then it's like, oh, I'm going to watch the football. They're watching a football match, like Aston Villa or something. It's like, there's no way you're in Florida. Let's be honest. Like, come on, seriously, you're some fat bloke probably down like down in England somewhere. Like, seriously, like. So you can always tell if it's like America, Canada, UK, and that sort of thing. They always go for the romance scams. Now the other ones, the investment scams. This is the bit I find quite interesting. If it's it never seems to start on Instagram. It always starts on WhatsApp. Always exactly the same way. Somebody randomly send you a message meant for somebody else.
All the time.
Thing the other day, and you gave me your number. No, it's somebody else. Oh, I'm sorry. You sound really nice. And they start chatting. They send you a picture. It's an Oriental girl. Every single time, Hong Kong. Like 9 times out of 10, it's some Oriental girl in Hong Kong. Sometimes China or something like that, but they tend to stay away from that at the moment because China's obviously quite in the news a lot, should we say. So they avoid that. It's always Hong Kong. And they're usually quite wealthy. So they'll send you pictures of like, oh, I'm just going out for some food or going shopping. And it'll be like, you know, they're having breakfast with nice, you know, cakes and stuff. And they'll have one of those coffees that has like Prada on the latte. So like they're really rich and they're going out shopping. And they've got the bags with Prada and all the other stuff. And they've got a successful business, usually in fashion. And they've been to the UK recently, and they're opening up a new shop with their auntie or something else in the UK. They're opening a new shop and everything else, and they'll not look for money or anything. And then every now and then they'll talk about, I've just been on the markets. It's like, oh yeah, so the crypto markets. Like, oh okay, so do you want to try? And it's trying to get you involved in crypto. And that's what the whole scam is. So they're getting to know you and like how rich they are, and they're coming to the UK. They're not trying to meet you. They're trying to get you to spend money on the crypto and do the markets, and they'll teach you. They won't. They're just going to rip you off of all the money when you put your money into this bullshit. It's just, and every single time it goes exactly the same way. Sometimes you get exactly the same pictures off them as well. It's mental.
Oh, yeah, no. With the WhatsApp ones, it gets annoying because I know like after a couple minutes, like, all right, this is a possible scam. I do this on purpose. I play along.
Oh, I do it every time.
Yeah. And when you mentioned that sometimes you can get the same photos, I would occasionally play along with this charade for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. And I would just, hang on a minute. I've seen this photo before.
Yeah.
I'll scroll back to the very beginning of our conversation and it will be the exact photo. Like, if you want to scam me, you're doing it very wrong. We've been talking for 2 weeks and you've just gone to send me the same photo. At that point, I've hit a dead end in my personal amusement. My quote unquote cyberbullying has come to an end because this scammer has just given me the reason. So when it comes to these mobile scammers with numbers, it's just like they have to be quick and smart, otherwise it would never work. And yet again, being quick and smart with a phone number isn't that easy as a scam. A lot of people make it out to be a scammer talking to you via somehow getting your phone number. It's actually really, really easy to do. It's really not.
Yeah.
If you want to scam someone using your number, then you need to be 100% accurate at every sentence you send. And that's how it's easy to. That's how it's easy to understand when you're being attacked like that by, I won't say necessarily attacked, but I mean like being approached by a scammer. It's when you just get out of nowhere and they're very forward and formal.
It's don't trust anybody you don't know. And even people you know sometimes, unless you're 100% sure it's them. You also see the other thing as well with a lot of these WhatsApp ones, they'll be from business accounts and you'll open it up and at the top it'll have their name, then business account. It's like, why are you using a business? And it's like, so they're obviously doing it as a bunch of people and they've got business. Sometimes they'll go off the business account and they'll actually say, oh, this is my business account. Can we chat on my personal? They give you another number to then chat to. And it's just like, yeah, whatever. Let's see where this goes and see how you're trying to get money off me. And it's just like, just be smart, guys. If some girl you've never met sends you a message mistakenly, just be nice, go, yeah, okay. But don't believe the crap they're telling you. Oh, you sound really nice. Oh, tell me a bit more. Like, yeah, really? Come on. People are not on like Instagram to pick up people and find relationships. That's just nonsense. Anybody that's treated like a dating app is just like people seem to be treating it like a dating app. You'll see it all the time. You'll see comments on people's posts. It's like, oh, get a life, people. Like, seriously, what is wrong with people? Somebody posts a picture and they go, I'm not feeling it today. I don't think I look very good. There'll be hundreds of people saying, I date you. And it's like people, like all these awful messages, like, grow up. It's somebody's just posted a picture. It's probably like somebody that's trying to sell you something as well, because that happens. Let's be honest. There's a lot of spam stuff out there.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's a lot. I say a few. I nearly said a few there, but there's thousands, maybe millions of these fake accounts that are probably males behind the accounts, it's all female, the same woman. Mind, it's all about the same woman being reposted on this man's account. But this person will act like this woman. Like there's this cosplayer that I regularly keep up to date with on Instagram, and I just get a random message from this cosplayer. I'm like, what? I then realized that it is like very early on. This isn't the verified account. This is just a normal account. And that's when I started to play along with the charade. It's like, I know you ain't real. I know you're probably a man in a hot box room with no air conditioning and Doritos.
Yeah.
I'm just going to play along with you and see who comes out on top. 100% of the time, it should be the receiver.
It's one of my favorite ones that you see time and time and again where they say they're from America is the army girl. Have you seen those ones? It's quite a big thing for scammers. So they'll do the whole romance scam, but it'll be an army girl. And they'll send you a picture of her with, like, combats and, like, and camouflage clothes and all of this stuff. And there's like 4 girls that everyone uses for these scams. It's quite awful. These poor people like have got their pictures taken from the internet somewhere, from their Instagram or whatever. And they're always really attractive. But they've got like, they're wearing like army clothes with full makeup and stuff. You think, really? That doesn't make sense. And it's always, they travel around a lot, but they want to come visit you, and once again they want money for a flight or something else happens. It's like, but it's not just girls. There's blokes as well that are part of this, and they'll have male profiles with these fit-looking blokes and all of that. But it's so common. A couple of years ago, even more so, the military dating scam was like mental. It was everywhere. But you like look it up on the internet, and you'll see it's like this one poor girl is like everywhere. Like hundreds of people saying about, oh yeah, I had that one as well. And there's loads of them. And like all of them, it's the same poses with a couple of different girls as well. And you just think, oh my God. And people fall for it. Or the ones that really get me is the celebrity scams.
Yeah, that one. I laugh a lot at that one.
You're getting a message from a so-called like famous actor, but I can't tell it. But don't tell anyone else because I don't want them to know that I really like you. And
I had it from.
Can you send me some money? It's like, oh come on, this person's like a world-class actor. Like
I had it from Justin Bieber one once before. I was howling.
Oh my God! But people are so desperate for that connection to somebody, and especially. It's the whole fantasy of it. This is what they prey on, is the fantasy that people want in these relationships. It's these people that need their other half. They need somebody to complete them. No, you should be a person within yourself. You don't need somebody else. You could have somebody else in your life that enhances your life, but it's not to complete you. You need to be a complete person. Somebody else can't fill the gaps. So stop being a moron. Be happy with yourself first, or you're never going to be happy, is it? And it's just, it's so frustrating. It frustrates me that these people prey on, these people that maybe not have great self-esteem or have been going through a lot of crap in their lives and are vulnerable. And it just really frustrates me that these people will go and do this stuff. This person I spoke to, trying to be quite honest with, why they were doing it and all that, and they wouldn't actually give me an honest answer. They kept saying about, the hardships they have to face growing up, and they have to do this for money for their family and to get through college, which could be believable. But then when they send you a picture, they're watching TV and it's a 60-inch TV, you go, well, maybe you're not that poor. You know what I mean? It's kind of get your act straight. But it doesn't matter how poor you are, how underprivileged. There's always another way. I've been through a lot of my life. My parents. Fantastic. I'm never going to say we didn't do well as a family. We did. My dad worked away a lot. We never didn't have anything. There was one time when my dad, he was in the armed forces. He lived away for a while. He's working for British Aerospace and all sorts in other countries. And he came back to try and live in the UK again and try and get a job. And, we did struggle for a while. We didn't have anything. I remember back in the day with food boxes where you have stewed steak and I love cans of stewed steak. They used to give you that, and the dehydrated mashed potato, and you get a box of food and stuff. Because we did go for a stage where we did struggle and everything. And my dad got another job, and everything got better. And we've always done amazing. My parents have always been amazing, and now they're doing better than ever. My mum's retired, my dad's near retirement age, and they go on cruises all the time. And they always help out me and my brother whenever we need anything. They help out other members of family. They're doing really well now, later stage in life, because early on they didn't have it, but they didn't scam other people. They, buckled down and got on with it, and did it for themselves. They didn't have any help from anyone. My gran was never well off. She couldn't help them. So they always had to struggle. But people struggle through lives and do it on their own back. They don't need to take money off other people and scam them. There's always help out there. I just feel sorry for people that have that need so desperately that people can manipulate them in that way. It's really sad. It upsets me that people are so easily manipulated into giving people money that just shouldn't have it. And these people, they don't need the money to survive. They're doing it because they want to do it. They're not doing it because they need to. Nobody's putting a gun to their head saying, right, now scam this person. No, it's not. It's dreadful. It annoys me.
Yeah, likewise. It's just sometimes it's just I try my best not to swear, but sometimes it takes outright piss.
Yeah, it
It's
does.
piss boiling as well.
Yeah.
It really makes one angry.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. It's something that I'll do as well in the description for this episode. I'll put some information like for help with scams, like if you've been scammed, who you can contact, like there's some, I know the government as well as report fraud, and there's some telephone numbers for action fraud and that sort of thing in the UK, and there's ones for America, like the Scam Reduction Act. There's a Bureau of Consumer Protection, Federal Trade Commission. There's lots of different people you contact if you do get scammed. So, I want to try and help people as well through this. And I hope people listen to this will understand kind of like where these scams are, how people are trying to get you information. At the end of the day, if you don't know somebody like in person, although, we don't know each other in person, but you know what I mean. If you don't know somebody really well and have known them for a little bit, take it with a pinch of salt, what they say. Some people are genuine and some people do need help from people now and then. There's nothing wrong with that. If, you're in desperate need, there's always somebody you can reach out to, I'm sure. But when you don't know somebody very well, you've only just started to know them, and then they're asking for something. It's like, well, is that what the friendship is about? Is it real? Are they just after your friendship to get the money and then they'll be gone? Think about those things.
Yeah,
it's difficult if you're lonely and you don't have many friends, you're going through hardship, you've lost people you love or whatever, and you're vulnerable. Just be careful. There are people out there that aren't genuine, that just want to get something out of you, like the Paul brothers. Let's be honest. Let's get on to crypto scams, shall we, before we run out of time? Because that's the one that annoys me.
That's the main one.
It annoys me. These other frauds, they are targeting people individual, which is disgusting. But when you get somebody like Logan Paul, and I'm going to concentrate on him more than his brother. His brother is an awful human being, and he's done a lot, but Logan is worse for this.
Yes, okay.
Jake, all of his stuff at the moment is focused on scamming people out of their money for tickets for his ridiculous events, which, I just want to see somebody, like, punch his lights out at this point. It's just awful. But Logan Paul is purposely creating ways to make money for himself, take money off his fans, and run with it. That is what he does constantly. We've got dink doink nonsense. We've got the zoo bloody coins, and that Hook Tower girl or whatever they bloody call it. Oh my god! And she had one as well that she was doing with Logan. Like, really, she had a crypto coin that was a pump and dump. Why do people listen to celebrities when they say, I'm doing this crypto coin, invest some money? It's like, yeah, because they're going to have your best interest. They're rich. Why do they need it? They don't. They're just greedy and want your money. Don't believe them. Just because they're rich doesn't mean they know what to do with money. Doesn't mean they're going to make you money. If somebody says you can make money easy, it's nonsense. There is no easy money. You have to work hard to get money. Can you get money on the lottery? Yeah, sure you can. But the chances of winning on the lottery? Ridiculous. You probably get struck by lightning and hit by a meteor at the same time before you win the lottery. But, you do it anyway. It's one of those things. If you don't do it, you can't win it, is the other way. But not crypto. Whoever decided crypto is a good thing is a moron, and I want them, buried somewhere. I do not understand
I don't like
why we need
just
it.
as much as you. I really don't understand it.
Why do we need an electronic currency that has no value? It doesn't have value. The whole crypto mining, I understand what it is, but I don't understand why it is. Just because you can do it and you can create some numbers in a computer somewhere, why does that have value in the world? It doesn't. It only has value because somebody gives it value. It's like we were saying before about concert tickets and PlayStations when they first get released. That people will resell them for silly amounts of money because there's always some moron that wants to pay £2,000 for a PS5 to have it 2 days earlier than everyone else. There's always that moron. It's the same with crypto. People think, oh, I'll get into that and I'm going to have all this money. But why? If nobody put money into it, you know what it'd be worth? Nothing. So don't put money into it. I could make a quick couple of, $1,000. The price of crypto's going up. I could make some money when I sell it. You're just making money off somebody else that's buying it off you for, it's the biggest scam in the world. Get rid of it. Normal money is just numbers in a computer. We know this. but it is based on something. You know, the British pound is based in reality on something. It's, you know, it's basically an IOU for the amount of gold or whatever else that it represents. That's the whole point of it. That's why it's regulated. Crypto isn't based on any physical thing. It's not it. But you could, like, okay, there's the argument. You couldn't go into a bank and with £500 and say, I want £500 of gold. No, you couldn't, because they don't actually have it. They have notes. They have numbers in a computer. But it has a basis somewhere of what it's actually worth. It has worth because it's intrinsically got worth from the country and the government and the treasury and all of that kind of thing. Like, you know, Fort Knox in America is this big building allegedly filled with all the gold and the Federal Reserve and all of that nonsense. But that's because it's got something. There's something. That's why they can't just go, let's just print more money, because it has to have a basis in something behind it. It has to have value behind it. So, you know, you could say, well, we could just print loads more notes and there'd be loads of money floating around. Yeah, but those notes, they couldn't, because there's nothing to back up what those notes represent. That's why they have to take some out of circulation before they print more. They can't just print endless amounts of money. There has to be something funding that. That's what annoys me about crypto, is there's nothing behind it. Where is the value? What good is it doing for society? None. Stop putting money into it, people. Somebody says they can make you rich quick. They can't. They'll make themselves rich quick. It's like writing a book that says how to get rich quick, selling it for 10 quid on Amazon, and it only has one line in it. Create a book called How to Get Rich Quick and publish it on Amazon. That's all it is. Yeah, that's all. That's the only way you can do it, is to do exactly the same as that. But then everyone does it, and there's a million books like that, so nobody makes any money. So there isn't a get rich quick scheme. The pyramid schemes, all the other nonsense, they're not real, people. Stop it. Ooh. Frustrating, isn't it? Are you still there?
I'm still there. I'm just entertained by the rant you're having.
It's just it annoys me that people think there's a fast way to make money, that you can get money without putting in effort. No, you can't. It's like YouTube. People think, oh, it's an easy way to make money. No, it's not. Some people get lucky and, you know, and are talented and get all the views and subscribers and they go viral and they make loads of money. Do you know how long I've been on YouTube? This year, it's 8 years. I've had a YouTube channel. 8 years. And I don't even have 6,000 subscribers. I make £120 a year on YouTube. That's it.
All it takes is that one of your videos to go boom, yeah. But then again, the odds on that happening
is astronomical.
Exactly. I wouldn't even be surprised that
I'd probably win the lottery before I get a viral video. That's the mental thing. But I do it because I enjoy it. I don't do it for the money and the fame. I do it because I started doing this. Why this podcast is called On a Storyteller's Night is because when I grew up, I said my dad worked away a lot, which, you know, is amazing. I've got full respect for my dad. It must have been really difficult for him, you know, living away from the family and doing all that as he did, because he was away for a lot. But, you know, this was before the internet. This is like the 80s. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have mobile phones. So we used to, me and my brother used to write to him. It's the funny thing. I actually had a stationery set. It was Transformers. And I like Transformers paper and envelopes and pens. And I used to write him letters on that. It's like amazing. So, you know, he'd know, like, when he got it in the post, it'd be a Transformers envelope. So he knew it would be for me and my brother. So we used to do that. But something he did when he was, because he worked a lot on like army bases, well, Air Force bases, that sort of thing, a lot of American ones, because he used to work on aircraft, like engines and that sort of thing. That's what he was doing. Like, he worked in like Saudi Arabia and Oman and places like that on the American bases. And he used to do a radio show. And the radio show was called On a Storyteller's Night. And he'd record it onto tape, that's all damn, so cassettes, and send them to us. So we could listen to those and like hear him. Which is one of the reasons why I started YouTube, and why this podcast is named that. It's kind of, you know, reference to my dad doing the same sort of thing. But when my family broke down, that sort of thing, I wasn't living with, you know, Jack and his mum and his sisters and so on, I decided, well, Jack likes YouTube, so if I did a YouTube channel, you know, if he wants to hear my voice and see me and stuff, he could watch my channel. And it'd be a way for me to kind of interact with him without being there. And that's why I started it, is for that reason. You know, it goes back, I said, my dad doing that for me, and it means a lot to me now. and I actually picked up a tape recorder the other day that has a USB on it, so I can record the tapes onto USB and turn them into MP3, so I can listen to them again. Nobody's got a tape deck anymore, but I still have the tapes. So I dug one up and I've recorded it. It's like it's really nice to hear that. And it's the past. It's something that not everyone has from their parents. It's different now because there's videos and recordings and everything. Back then we didn't have that many pictures. We didn't have a good camera. You didn't have video. So I don't have that, but I'll always have those tapes, and that means a lot to me. So I did the same for YouTube, and I enjoy doing YouTube. I've learned a lot of skills about thumbnails. I've always done like Photoshop and done photo restoration. So doing Photoshop is trying to keep those skills going. But learn about Premiere Pro and OBS and cameras and lighting and audio. It's been amazing, and I'm thoroughly enjoying doing it just for the skills and occasionally interacting with people. I don't often get a lot of comments. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but I enjoy it.
And that's the whole point. If you enjoy stuff, no matter what scam comes our way or what problem gets put in front of us, it's only if you enjoy it.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, when you helped me get started for my college work beginning of last year, I just didn't have the correct stuff with me to do it properly, like YouTube and streaming. But many months later, I've got the correct stuff, some of the correct stuff to continue it on. Yes, the week that I've had has had a dent into my motivation, but I do it for fun.
It's the only way now.
Since I started, I have been getting some emails about scams and stuff.
You'll get those all the time. Yeah.
It's like I can't be bothered. It's like these Twitch things. These people coming onto Twitch like, "Hi, I've got this art. I've got this and that." 90% of the time, they'll probably be scams.
Well, even if they're not, the thing that annoys me most about that, and I've been doing Twitch a little bit longer than you because I started it and then I stopped because I got fed up, and I kind of not doing it at the moment. I'm going to go in a different direction with that, but I'll mention that in a minute. But yeah, it's always the same. They'll say, "Oh, hello. Oh, I noticed you and have a lot of artwork." That's because I don't need it. I've got an avatar. I've got all the different screens and transitions and overlays. I've got all that. I don't need it. But you have a look at these people out when they send you links to their Instagram and their Discord and everything else, and all of them do exactly the same artwork. And I'm not kidding, they're all exactly the same. And I can do it because I've used the same software, and I created my avatar on Twitch using the same software they use. So why would I want to pay somebody? And they're like, "Oh, I can do it really, really reasonable price." Like, "Oh, I don't have any budget at all. I'm not spending any money on all this sort of thing." And they keep trying. It's like, "Oh, it won't cost very much. I can do it quite." It's like, no, you don't understand. I'm spending $0 on this at the moment, so don't bother. But it is it's probably like 70-80% of people I interact with on Twitch are people trying to sell me something.
Yeah, likewise.
And it puts me off.
We need to think about ending it now.
Yes.
We started at 5 minutes past.
It is indeed. So we shall end it there. It's been quite enjoyable. And I said in the description, I'll put some information for people. So if you have been subjected to fraud and scams, it's where you can go to from there. So hopefully it'll help somebody. But I'll put all the information there, some telephone numbers, email addresses, websites that you can go to in either America or the UK. I'm not sure about other countries because there are too many countries out there, but America and the UK definitely. I'll put the information for that, so I do have that to hand. So if you have been a victim of this kind of thing that we've been talking about, then reach out to the local authorities and see how they can help you. Quite a lot of the times there are things they can do to protect you and to help you recover and get back some of your life. So you never know, it can help you. So have a look and see what can help you.
It's very nice to have a grounded episode as well. It really brings the tempo down, and more people will feel the resemblance.
Well, that's what I think it's something I want to do with this podcast. It's not just kind of geeky, nerdy, and just like silly stuff, but occasionally do something kind of serious and stuff that we want to talk about. As one of my friends was saying, they listened to the podcast and they felt it was kind of like being like in a fantasy pub or something and overhearing a conversation. which I think is kind of exactly the kind of vibe we're going for. We want people to feel part of it, that they can just kind of listen and take it in. It's like, oh yeah, I didn't think of it that way. And that's kind of, I think if we can help people as well, it'll be quite good if we just entertain people. Great, it doesn't have to be anything in depth, but if occasionally we do something like this and people go, I didn't realize that's what they're after. That makes sense. That person just messaged me, they're after some money. Now I can understand what it is and kind of protect myself. And that would be good. But anyway, tell everyone where they can find you if they want more from you.
Oh, you're talking to me.
Yeah. Nobody else here. Hello, Craig. I'm talking to Craig, the chatbot.
Cheeky. The Welsh Assassin on YouTube and the Welsh Assassin 998 on Twitch. They're my main two.
And if you want to find more of me, as I said before, I've got a YouTube channel that is called Wasn't My Fault. And on Twitch, you'll find me as Nukami. So anyway, thanks a lot for joining us today. And hopefully you'll join us again soon. Look out for more episodes. It will be every week, 5 o'clock on a Friday. That's 5 o'clock GMT, UK time. Not sure what time that is for everyone else because there's so many different time zones. It's crazy. But that's where you'll find us every Friday. So until then, talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.